When I say the word freebie, what comes into your mind?
Misspelling, mistake, that kind of thing.
Typically, that's how I think my daughter would describe like everything in her life.
Freebie. Yep.
Just kind of appears.
My father used to refer to his daughters as sponges. It was a cute little nickname. You know?
My wife was looking at photos. So my daughter has what back in the day we called show and tell, but now they call show and share. So
yikes!
I maybe it's the difference. I don't know. It's called show
Don't
and share.
show, don't tell. Is that the new thing?
Jeez. Don't think it's related to the military. Anyway. So we just made like a scrapbook of all our photos from when we went out west for her to show and share. Anyway, so my wife was in the kitchen yesterday. I don't know if she didn't know I was around, or probably, honestly, she probably did. I hear her just go, she looks like you in all these photos.
Wow.
I was like, love you too.
Wow. So I since you brought it up and since I just mentioned my father, my parents were divorced when I was 3. I didn't really meet this guy as a functioning human being until I was 17-ish. And in the interim years, what I had to deal with was my mother. Every once in a while, like I'd laugh or say something a certain way, and she'd go, "You're just like your father," or "That sounds just like your father." And I'm like, well, I've never met the guy, so sorry. I mean, you made this happen. What do you want me to do about it?
God.
I don't know.
Anyways, Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter, which is hilarious. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It would be a poor.
What's going on over there? There's like this. He becomes like a, primary shareholder. He's just going to join the board. Then he isn't, and then I don't know. He's in some kind of a financial thing where he made $140 million by timing the announcement of what he was doing.
Well, hold on.
Illegally.
I got to turn the furnace off because I forgot my morning duty of turning the furnace off before I podcast.
My AC is on right now.
Is it? Well,
it's like it's going to be 80 today, and it's hot.
Tomorrow it'll be a little cooler. So he is the epitome of you have so much money that the SEC just doesn't matter. Because like when you're worth like $70 billion or whatever it is, like a $5 million fine is like a Snickers bar, whatever.
Yep.
So
which is the problem with
earlier this year,
big billionaires. Yeah.
Was it last year or whatever? He started buying shares, like a lot of shares, like 10% of the company, which you can't just do. That's like not allowed the way he was doing it. And it wasn't supposed to be a takeover. And then they said, "Do you want a seat on the board?" And he's like, "Yes." And then they like rescinded that offer. And so now he's just trying to...
I think he had to disclose some stuff and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." And it's like, well, that's the law.
Well, his disclosure was that he wasn't going to take a seat on the board, or that he was doing it to take a seat on the board, when it in fact turned out he was. And then he was like, "Okay, so I won't do that." And then now he's just offering to buy the whole company, which it doesn't make sense. This is dog and pony show.
But what's the end game? Like, what do you think? What's he doing? Like, what's the point of all this?
Yeah, the point of all this is...
He's got a screw loose, right? This,
yes.
When you're a genius of this level, something is wrong everywhere else in your brain.
Okay,
right?
So you kind of got to unpack it from multiple viewpoints. He's offering to buy Twitter for $43 billion. Now, that's a lot of money. Elon doesn't have $43 billion in cash in his account. It's a lot. He has a lot.
How could Twitter be worth $43 billion? This is the smallest of the social networks by far. That doesn't even make sense.
So his offer to buy it is a premium over the price today, or when he started buying, which isn't a valid reason to do it at that price point. But it's way off from their high, which was like in the 70s. That aside, if he wanted to pay for Twitter, he would have to sell a ton of Tesla shares, a ton of them, because he has about $2 billion in cash and he's 43. You're gonna have to sell a whole bunch of I don't believe
he can do math.
I don't believe this is actually a genuine attempt to buy the company. I think he bought some shares, was hoping to make maybe a change or two,
the price,
get out of it, and whatever.
Wait, do you think it's that simple and that dumb?
Oh,
he's going to drive up the share price and
this
then
is
sell
a guy
a bunch
who
of his
tweeted
shares?
out like, "What if we deleted the W in Twitter?" After he bought 10% of the company.
I think he must want to buy an island or something and just needs some cash.
I, who knows?
Right? It's something that dumb.
Well, like, when you think about it too, when you have that much money, like, what is your entertainment? Right? Like,
right.
Like
Well, I tell you what, my entertainment would be like flying overnight to Paris and having a cup of coffee at my favorite cafe, and then having dinner back home at my favorite restaurant where I live. I mean, I would spend money like that.
But he could do it. Like, so there's
But he doesn't, right? You don't really hear stories about people doing stuff like that.
Well, I mean, you gotta fly over
the people
there.
who do stuff like that don't tell stories about.
Yeah,
it. I don't know. Yeah,
okay. I'll just text him. Last time he flew to Paris for some coffee.
Well, you don't have to text him. I think someone's tracking his plane.
Oh yeah, which he tried to buy off. Which he tried to stop this guy for like $5,000.
Because the money is the solution to everything. When all you have is money.
Well, not the old saying, the general belief is that once you get enough money isn't anything. Like, you want power. Power is what you want. And how do you get power? Well, you control the narrative.
How would you want? I wouldn't want anything. I'd be happy with the money.
Dude, you could give me $1 million and I never hear from me again.
Exactly.
My buyout point is so low.
I'd be like, hey, guess what island I'm on today? Or, that would be, this is stupid. Anyway, I don't understand this whole mentality. People that achieve great wealth and then feel the need to go do something, I mean, I realize your life sort of doesn't have meaning, but I mean, you can find meaning in different things.
Look at Mackenzie Scott just giving away billions of dollars every year.
That's right. I know. This is a woman who couldn't make her rent as recently as 7 years ago or whatever it was. Yeah, incredible. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see.
Anyway, so he's posturing to buy Twitter. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, that's very interesting. I saw the headline and I'm like, I just don't care about this stuff. But unless he's going to, sell or give every Twitter user some amount of money based on the number of followers, in which case he can do whatever the hell he wants. That'd be fine with me. I'm always happy to take a check.
Microsoft also released a new Windows Insider build that has really just nothing in it. I mean, fixes other stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like this was in Windows or proposed for Windows for Linux at some point in time, but they have this neat Spotlight lock screen wallpaper thing, which I always loved. And now they're applying it as a desktop wallpaper. So that thing, that to me makes tons of sense. In fact, I feel like I have a distinct memory of there being a lock screen image where you log in and then you go to your desktop and it's the same image. So it's like this really nice transition. I swear they've shown this off, but anyway, they're adding that. That's good. That's good.
Did Vista have this or something like that? Not live wallpapers, but like a synced from the...
Right. They had dynamic wallpapers. Yeah. Remember, it was an Ultimate Extra, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sync settings started with Windows 8. I don't know.
Yeah, and then ended with Windows 10.
That's right. Well, no, it got... Actually, originally in Windows 10, they were very unclear about what synced. And they actually, in Windows 11, they've stopped syncing your desktop configuration. Probably because I had to store all those images, somewhere. I bet that had something to do with it.
Hard computer science problem.
Well, it's a hard storage cost problem, probably. But I bet they were like, hey, if we don't do this, we save like $1 billion a year or something. I mean, it's probably something stupid like that.
Probably. I don't know. It is Good Friday tomorrow. I don't think we should end our tradition of accepting every holiday and religion.
I was going to say my annual rant about why I can't imagine why the kids don't have school today, because most of them are not involved in any religious services. It's like letting kids go in the fall because it's the harvesting season. None of these people work on farms. What are you doing? Here's an idea. Let the devout Christians, Catholics or whatever, have the day off. I mean, we have Jewish holidays. We have various, there are religious holidays. I mean, let them have it off. Why would the whole world be off? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. We're not going to be podcasting, so we'll accept that for tomorrow.
Well, I should say, originally my plan was to fly to Mexico on Monday, and we were leaving early, so there's no way I could do the podcast Monday. But now we're not going because
they got all my letters. Did not let you in?
People will be shocked to discover that the Mexican government has moved a little too slowly on getting one crucial piece of paperwork submitted that has to happen before we can buy this place. And we were told Tuesday that if it didn't happen by Thursday, because of the Easter weekend, it's a Catholic country, I mean, we won't hear from these people till next Tuesday at the earliest, and there's no reason to go and hope it happens. And what if we spend a week there and it doesn't happen? So we actually literally just, right after this call, I think I'm going to cancel the trip, and then we'll just rebook it whenever that happens. It could be June. I have no idea. So, what about Monday, though? Is Monday a holiday here for you or for your kid or whatever? Or is there a Monday, Easter Monday?
I don't know. She doesn't have school tomorrow, but I don't know if that's because of Easter or Good Friday or both.
Yeah. I think here they actually don't have school today or tomorrow.
Wow.
I know. I just don't. Please don't get me going on this. I have no problem with religion at all. I think faith is wonderful. I don't understand why we're inflicting it on people that don't, observe that particular holiday. That's all.
Anyways, I mean, that's really about it. It's a slow week. Kind of expected, though, when you have a holiday. I would expect next week to be slow-ish. Something.
Great. That would have been a good time for me to be away.